Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Fahad, iZeno Senior Project Manager and ITSM Practice Lead. It's nice to meet you all. I will do a recap of Teams 23 keynote session about embed service management now with Jira Service Management. I have attended Atlassian's team event for the first time. It was very nice experience attending Teams 23. I learned a lot about Atlassian practices, culture, product updates, and met different people. I feel proud that iZeno is named as Partner of the Year 2022 in Emerging Market category, and I received this award at stage from Atlassian co-CEO and co-founder Scott and Mike with my colleague Leo. Team's 23 tagline was "Impossible alone, possible together," and I believe that behind every success there is a team. Atlassian tools are there to unleash the potential of your team to make things possible together. How Atlassian is making possible together. For that, let's take a look at the platform. Atlassian unifies teams, whether it's technical or non-technical, across the entire organization and help teams work better together with the products that make the work flow. If I read from the top to bottom, this platform offers a solution layer from an agile and DevOps to ITSM and work management, where technical and non-technical teams work together by getting the most from the experience layer. And infrastructure layer is there to scale at large when needed from a speed and organization growth perspective. On top of that, now you can achieve the impossible with the power of and magic of AI in Atlassian Cloud's product through the intelligence capability at the experience layer. Atlassian Intelligence also integrates with ChatGPT. Now, from if I take the solution list, and from this solution list, if I need to deep dive into IT service management, ITSM, which is powered by Jira Service Management, I believe that Jira Service Management is the only incredible solution that can bring dev, IT operations, and business teams together so that we can deliver great service experience. Why Jira Service Management only? We hear from customers that it can deliver value fast and it's easy to set up. Unlike traditional ITSM tools, it has the capability of bringing dev and ops together to respond to incidents and changes faster. Thirdly, it makes super simple for any team to deliver great support without a huge reliance on the IT team. And that's why Jira Service Management, the ITSM solution, is used by 45,000 customers. These are from startups to enterprises, from clean energy to banks and oldest manufacturing companies. That got analysts to take notice as well. Forrester named leader for enterprise service management Wave, and Gartner named Atlassian Jira Service Management as leader in ITSM Magic Quadrant and the fastest growing product in their evaluations. Let's take a look at how Jira Service Management can help address the bad service management symptoms, all the way from bloated budgets to the issues with the deployments. The first is bloated budgets. From that perspective, there are studies around in the market. I have taken this example here from Gartner, where it says 8 out of 10 enterprises are overspending 50% of their contract value. That's a lot. And Forrester did a study that if somebody is using Jira Service Management on an average, they have an ROI of 277%. They are getting a benefit of 4.2 million in 3 years' time. The implementation is 4 months with an average complexity, and they are getting a payback in less than 6 months. Atlassian Jira Service Management is there to help people, and Atlassian is also running embed service management campaign that is still on. And you can save 30% on the first year with a 3-year contract. For details, please contact us. Now, let's take a look at the second symptom, which is irritable teammates. Pushing changes into production can sometimes be like a stressful exercise. Like you need to push the change and hope that everything will be okay. And this thing sometimes causes friction between dev and ops. With Jira Service Management, we give developers a lot more autonomy to run fast to the very best while ensuring that work is aligned with operations to reduce the risk to the business. Let's take a look of let's take a couple of examples and look around changes and incidents. Starting with the changes, Jira Service Management integrates with popular CI/CD tools that dev teams love. For example, Bitbucket, Jenkins, and others. And now it integrates with GitHub and GitLab as well. CI/CD pipelines can now also integrate with Sneak for the DevSecOps, where code can be scanned for vulnerabilities. In case of issues, pipeline can be paused. And in case there's a change required, the change can be directly created from the CI/CD tool that you see on the screen here. And when we got the change, when it comes to doing a risk assessment associated to that change, how can we achieve that? Jira Service Management risk assessment engine is there, where low risk changes are auto-approved to deploy first, and the medium risk changes are made to solve first. If no issue occurred for the certain time, these can be pushed to production. However, high risk changes need to follow the set practices. Great thing is that your team does not need to leave the tool to make decisions and deploy. However, in case the deployment happens and an incident has occurred, how you respond to that, it's important from a team's perspective. Teams needs to have the right tool to respond and resolve issues faster. From that perspective, nowadays, when we are delivering, implementing softwares, behind that software, there are multiple microservices that are running to support certain features. As a developer or a software support team, I need to know where is the microservice, who owns that, and how do I get help when something goes wrong. From that perspective, Atlassian introduced Compass, and we can have a list of components, DevOps, health check, and other details. And inside the Compass, we can see all the details. For example, for this identity service, where we have the repo, where we have the project that inside Jira Service software that is managing all this. We have links to the documentation, and then we can also see the whole health stack, that where we can see what is in operation, what is where we have operational health as 100%, where we have security coverage as like certain percentage, 40%. And then we can also see if something goes wrong, who's on schedule, who is responsible for L1, and so on. So for example, if something goes wrong, in case of incident, the teams are immediately alerted, and they are alerted, and they have to acknowledge through, and when it comes to acknowledgement, they have lots of options. One of them, they will receive the alert on their phone app, they will straight away go in and acknowledge. And for example, in this case, if Teams knows that the service is critical, they can immediately go and escalate this incident as a major incident. And what happens there? And then they can also check that for this particular service, who's on call across dev and ops, to make sure that they can bring the right folk into the war room to solve this issue fast. Now, when they jump into the war room, they have an option to use any device. For example, they can start using the channel like available through Slack, or they can start using Zoom meeting. And the beauty is that you can get to these channels within your Jira Service Management. These teams then can drill into the service components and the underlying services dependencies. So one of these dependencies might have caused this incident. How do you discover these dependencies? Jira Service Management made it easy to discover the dependencies using its discovery capabilities. And in addition to that, Atlassian has built deep integration with popular discovery tools as well, such as Device42. Incidents are high stress situations. We can get the root cause faster with Atlassian intelligence capabilities. So for example, in this screen, we will be able to see all the similar incidents that we are swarming on currently and the past BIRs that might help to resolve the incident faster. Incident investigation dashboard in Jira Service Management, as you can see on the screen, connects with the CI/CD tools. And the operations team can check what recent deployments have been done that might have caused the incident. So they can drill into the deployment and see which engineering team was responsible for that deployment. If required, they can roll back the changes to bring the service up again. Seems like the incident has been resolved, but the best teams learn from the incidents to better prepare for the next one. In Jira Service Management, we can automatically create the PIRs that can be exported into Confluence. In Confluence, we can put anything, for example, the smart links to external media, other things. We can draw on the whiteboards and then send these ideas, these conclusions directly from Confluence to the product teams, to the operations team, and other people. Atlassian has also introduced Beacon to make sure that your Atlassian products are secure. In case someone is searching some malicious terms, it creates incident in JSM for that malicious attempt for the teams to respond. So we have covered bringing dev, ops, and SecOps teams together to resolve incidents and move changes faster. Now let's take a look at the blurred vision. Atlassian Analytics gives an overall status within Jira Service Management. For example, in this dashboard, we can see the number of failed changes are growing up since last few weeks. Maybe there are a lot of deployments going on, but this is one half of the picture. Now, if you combine this with the dev tool, in this case is Jira Software, you could see that the deployment frequency is going down and the change failure numbers are going up. That does not look good. Maybe now you have an option to deep dive into the details by looking at the big picture, where you can see from an ops perspective and from a dev perspective. And you can also combine the third-party information in Atlassian Analytics, for example, cloud operations from AWS, budget data from Snowflake, and the service-related information that is sitting in JSM. That will give you better understanding of service cost and overall performance. That's all with the blurred vision. Now let's talk about the setup complexity, outdated experience, and the difficulties in scaling. And we will see how Atlassian is helping. So let's take a look at example of setup complexity first. Okay, and from an ease of setup perspective, from Atlassian standpoint, Atlassian gives you out-of-the-box service templates to reduce the setup time. And each of these templates comes with the most common request forms and workflows pre-configured. If you want to tailor this normally, like you need to go to the central admin. That option is still available. However, Atlassian is making it easy for your team to tailor, to manage your configurations related to forms and feeds and workflow by your own, without going to the central admin. Atlassian has also released a customer support template. So JSM can be used as external support help desk tool. In this way, Atlassian is helping to bring the customer support teams, the development teams and operation teams together, which means customer support team can take a look at the tickets that have been work on with the dev teams. They can establish a connect with them, and from a dev's perspective, they can take a look at the things that they are working on, how it is impacting or has an impact on the customer. And then from an operations standpoint, they will be able to check which customers are being impacted by an outage. This gives them end-to-end clear picture, and this will help reducing the silos, and as a result, it will lead to happy customers. You will use this information from a customer experience perspective. Like, for example, as a customer support team, I'm looking at a customer screen. I will get a 360-degree view of the customer. For example, the address, the region, and the account manager associated to it, and what are the recent activities that have been happening. And this information can be used to make better decisions and route requests as well. And this will also give an option to set up SLAs per customer. And we can run reports by utilizing this information across, like by customer or vertical, to see how we are delivering these services. And when we talk through the complexity around the setup, there's also another symptom from a bad service management perspective that comes in from an outdated experience perspective. Okay, and when we look at the portal, it's the centralized place where everyone goes to raise a request. The best way is to make the portal nice, to make sure that it aligns with your brand guidelines. Atlassian has like released the options to customize the portal according to your brand guidelines. But the recent and important information or important thing that I want to share is that Atlassian has released the option to set up your custom domain. So if you see in here, get that support that BANC.ly is a custom URL. Previously, we used to get the custom domain /Atlassian.net. Like now you can have your custom domain. This will give you more personalized your business related experience. And then when you have an option to change the look and feel, so essentially if you see that the previous screen versus this screen where you can change your look and feel, and as your portal grows from all the way from team A to team B to C, then you can also set up like a topics in there. Atlassian has a concept of topics which will help you to put important information at the top, followed by your featured portals and so on. And at the same time, Atlassian is also working to give you more options to make your layout look and feel like more pretty, that fits into your business needs more seamlessly. Okay, and this is the future screen that may be coming up soon. Okay, now from a virtual agent perspective, Atlassian also releasing virtual agent that connects with Slack and Microsoft Teams, where you can set up the flows that meets your business needs, that meets your use case, so that you have a 24/7 support through your virtual agent. Now, so we have covered the outdated experience as well. Now let's deep dive into the next symptom from an issue with the scale deployment perspective. So as an organization grow, your tool should also be able to scale to address the needs. Okay, and in case you have a difficulty to scale, then essentially it's one of the symptoms of bad service management. How Atlassian is helping to address that. So Atlassian has increased the support from an agent perspective from 10,000 to 20,000. And Atlassian is also increasing the asset database from 1 million to 3 million. This is a lot of assets that you can store in here. And from a data residency perspective, there are options coming soon, for example, Singapore and Canada. And the closest to this region, when I'm talking from Southeast Asia, is Singapore. And Atlassian is also working on setting up or like putting a compliance in place from a regulation perspective. And then Atlassian has also like introduced bring your own key concepts so that you can have your own encryption key. And then Atlassian is also improving on audit logs and so on. And it will also give an option from a customer SSO perspective. And so we have covered all the challenges from a bloated budget perspective until the issues with the deployment perspective. As a result, you will have your healthy budgets and happy teammates where and you have clear regions and so on. So this will help you set up your tool in a better way where you can like remediate or get rid of bad services, and you can deliver fastest and like a helpful experience to your users. And then we have ended this event with a great party. Here is the photo of my colleague Leo enjoying the party. With this, I will end this presentation. And thank you so much for listening. I'll pass this presentation over to the next speaker. Thank you.